Hello and welcome to Game Gen. We are very happy to have you on the team as a Game Gen student. Being on the team means one thing. We believe you have the potential for an amazing future in computer science. As a Game Gen student, you will create amazing games, apps, and websites. You create an amazing future for yourself and everyone in your life. It is hard work, but very rewarding. Everyone at Game Gen wants you to succeed and help you accomplish your dreams. Remember our motto. We believe computer science has the power to change the world. Learning computer science has the power to change a life. GameGen's ultimate goal is for our collective to lead creative, financially independent, socially connected, and preferred lives. We ultimately accomplish this goal by assisting our students in gaining skills in the field of computer science. We have made it our mission to create a productive, integrated community that provides an educational pathway for individuals to achieve meaningful lives through valued employment and lifelong friendships. So what is a Game Gen student? It is important to understand that while you will be perceived as and called a student, your duties will fall more in line with that of a game developer. For simplicity's sake, however, we shall use the word student. At Game Gen, we redefine the term this way. A Game Gen student is a person who creates games and projects at a Game Gen studio. To that end, our students do whatever is necessary for the success of their work. You will learn the knowledge and skills to create amazing games, apps, websites, and grow your passion into an employable skill. You wouldn't be here if you didn't love video games. Being a Game Gen student is going to allow you to nurture your passion and grow your knowledge. So let's go over our program expectations. All students are expected to conduct themselves in a manner consistent with their program. They are expected to perform the following as part of their participation in our program. Maintain a good attitude and promote a positive image of Game Gen. Contribute to an environment in which a student can do their best work. Be on time and regular in attendance. Maintain a healthy, positive relationship with other students, teachers, and staff. And communicate concerns of any sort to your teacher or staff, remembering that Game Gen is a safe environment where listening carefully is esteemed and important. Now, there are two main responsibilities of a Game Gen student. The first one is growing your skills in the field of computer science. The second responsibility is to socialize productively. Now let's discuss growing your skills in the field of computer science. This is the most important concept for a Game Gen student to grasp. Through your commitment and dedication, you will make amazing projects and games. Barriers will stand in the way to making these amazing projects. These barriers can be intellectual, mental, or physical. Your job is to identify your barriers and overcome them with the help of your teachers and fellow students. Your goals every day should include rewarding journey. The process of creating a game project should be fun. The journey is the best part. We want you to love the coding and art of making games. Growth mindset. If you work at it, you will get better at it. And sharing your work. A project needs to be finished and then shared. This is the way to show what you have learned. This does not mean, as you are posting on your weekly blogs, that you need to wait for a completed project. It is just as important to show your progress in your weekly blogs as it is to show a completed project on your overall portfolio. So have a good time. Making games is challenging but so fun. Be proud of what you accomplish. You will naturally grow your skills in computer science. Each project you create will be better than the last. Sharing your project will result in a great portfolio that will hopefully lead to employment in the field. Your second responsibility, to socialize productively. Your goal as a student should be to learn to socialize productively. This means understanding we are all a team and our goals are aligned. You should comment on other people's work, help students in need, and look to work with other students who share your same passion. Interact with your teachers and fellow students every day. You and your fellow students care about the same things. You are going to make amazing things together. The more you interact with them, the stronger of a social network you will build. Just showing up is half the battle. Be there. Consistent attendance means better projects. The further you go on our curriculum, the more skills you will gain. The more you attend, the more people you will meet. The more people you meet, the more people you will find that share your goals and interests. Let's go over our program description. Now, GameGen's Creative Arts program teaches adults vocational skills in the field of computer science. The program has 2 tracks of learning: video game coding and design, and video game art and animation. Our coding and design track is ideal for logical individuals who are detail-oriented and able to follow directions closely. Our video game art and animation track is designed for individuals who love art, love technical details, and naturally think outside the box. These tracks are designed to empower, educate, and motivate individuals in a medium they truly care about. Each unique one-year track's goals is to allow individuals to recognize their strengths in computer science with an eye towards securing competitive, integrated employment using computers. We have general goals, which means you will understand how to design video games and publish them online. You will leave the program with your own website, portfolio, and resume. You will receive assistance towards jobs placement. You will gain an improved chance of securing competitive, integrated employment. You will develop job skills commonly found in computer software-related jobs, and you will develop soft skills in technical communication and listening. We also have video game coding and design track goals, where you will learn both 2D and 3D video game engines. You will learn various programming languages. You will know how to debug your code. You will know how to create basic art for both 2D and 3D games. You will understand proper code organization, and you will understand the basics of game level design and player objectives. We have video game art and animation track goals as well. You will know how to create advanced 2D and 3D video game graphics. You will gain an understanding of 2D graphics and 3D modeling programs. You will learn both 2D and 3D video game engines. You will create characters, assets, and effects and levels. You will gain an understanding of technical game level design. You will learn how to create 2D and 3D animations. You will know how to code simple prototypes of video games. And you will learn the basics of sound editing software. Let's go a little deeper into our program curriculum. GameGen's curriculum is designed to give you vocational skills in the area of computer science. This is a one-year program, however, individuals can re-enroll for an additional year. The below curriculum looks at 1 year only and is divided into 3 separate phases. Phase 1, which averages about 3 months. This first phase is introductory, as it lays the groundwork for learning and further assessment needed before you can move into a specialized learning track which will best suit your skills, that is, coding design or art and animation. This phase includes game projects. You will learn how to build video games from the ground up. These lessons are meant to expose you to all the different areas of game software development. Your goal of completing these beginner projects is to find your passion of area of interest in computer science, and then tap into that passion and turn it into a strength the remainder of the program. By the end of completing the project lessons, you'll have coded, designed, and published several video games. Each project is self-paced, but typically takes 1 to 4 weeks each with adjustable deadlines. Each project builds in complexity, and their goal is to increase your independence when creating software. Projects are composed of the following lessons. Coding. You must code your own systems such as the character movement, scoring, and other data systems. Design. You will explore ways to make your games more engaging for users by coming up with your own unique ideas for story, art, and game systems. Art. You will create 2D and 3D art levels, characters, and vehicles. Animation. You will create animated characters, explosions, and effects. Game history. You will learn about the history of the game and/or the genre on which the lesson is based. Publishing. You will learn to meet technical requirements and publish your projects online. And marketing. You will design app icons and maybe even edit game trailers for your games. Another portion of this phase 1 is computer skills. You will be pushed to gain independence when using computers in order to become job ready. Examples of lessons you will learn include file navigation, saving, loading files, and troubleshooting hardware and software related problems on your own. You will learn searching techniques, website account creation, password storage, and basic internet safety. You will learn to use the internet to search and research ideas or answer questions related to your projects. Another aspect of Phase 1 is to create a website. You will learn to create your own personal website. This website is used to document your progress in the program as well as to show off your skills to potential employers. The website contains the following: weekly blog. You will post progress reports to describe what you are currently working on, including text, graphics, and videos. These blogs can be shared with friends, family, and coordinators. The portfolio. You will choose your best work and display it in this section of the website. Resume. The website also has a link to your online resume, which they will create in Phase 2 of the curriculum. Contact. You will create a contact section in the website so potential employers can communicate with you. The final aspect of Phase 1 is socialization. Lunchtime at GameGen includes gaming. You're encouraged to play games together and socialize. We also encourage you to keep up these behaviors even once class is ended. Special events such as group gaming tournaments or get-togethers will occasionally be scheduled on weeknights or on weekends and announced in advance. Phase 2. Average length 7 months. The first part is the track and area of focused decision. A collaborative decision is made by you and staff as to which track you will gain the most out of by studying it. An example of this is if you have displayed skill and enjoyment in coding and math in Phase 1. We would enroll you in our coding and design track and focus on doing projects to strengthen your coding skills. The curriculum becomes tailored to your unique skills. The goal is for you to acquire the skills of a professional software developer. By the end of a year, you should have a good grasp on professional workflows and techniques. Another aspect of Phase 2 are the game jams. After you have acquired sufficient game development skills in Phase 1, you have the option to join or create a team for game jams. Joining game jams is optional but preferred. You are not restricted as to whom you can work with. You have the freedom to receive help from any teacher or work with any other student at a game jam. Game jams are small and focused. They are a challenge to see what you can accomplish in a short amount of time. They would typically last from 24 hours to a whole month. All team games are published online, where students and teachers will play, share, give feedback, and give awards. You are encouraged to create your games from scratch, both coding and art. Final aspect of Phase 2 is career aid. You will learn to write your own resume. You will start with your education, work experience, and skills prior to enrollment at GameGen. New skills acquired at GameGen will be added and updated periodically. You'll also have the optional monthly meetings with and be optionally coached by our in-house career services coordinator. During these meetings, the career services expert will assist you with your writing your resume, looking into career paths, setting career expectations, conducting mock interviews, helping research employers, coaching on best practices for reaching out to employers, and tailoring your resume and portfolio for the position you want. Phase 3, average length 2 months. Career development. In Phase 3, you can optionally begin to apply for jobs. Jobs you apply to may include, but are not limited to, programmer, graphic designer, data entry clerk, QA tester, office assistant, and many other computer-related jobs. Types of things you can learn are submitting resumes, creating cover letters, mock job interviews, and email inquiries. Another aspect of Phase 3 is the capstone project. This is the last project you will do at GameGen. You are responsible for setting your goals, requirements, and milestones. Self-sufficiency in the project is one of the main goals. You're advised to choose a project that you expect you can accomplish with no more than 5% of the teacher's help or intervention. You will be leaving the program soon after the project's completion, and our goal is to grow your confidence and self-sufficiency in assigning yourself tasks that will grow your portfolio and resume beyond GameGen. Sample projects might include a game entirely coded by you, a large team project, or a 3D scene entirely modeled, lit, and animated by you. Ideally, this will become the best piece in your portfolio. You will typically have 2 months to work on your capstone project. Let's take a look at our online schedule. Monday through Thursday, a typical schedule might be this. From 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is online lab time. We won't have a full staff scheduled during those times, so it's best to work on whatever projects you've already been working on, and any teacher that is there will gladly help you. From 9 a.m. to 11:30, you will meet with your teacher and continue to work on your projects. 11:30 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. is our first break. Be sure to get up, stretch your legs, and you can grab some food and play games as well. 12:15 to 2:30 is the independent time to work on either your projects, attend lectures, or work on game jams. From 2:30 to 3:15 is our second break. Again, stretch your legs, get up out of your chair, and after you've done that, feel free to play some games or eat some food. 3:15 to 6 p.m. Again, this is meeting with your teachers and working on your projects. And from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. is the online lab time with reduced staff scaling. Friday is almost the same, except for two things. From 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. are our weekly presentations. We encourage you to attend these every Friday at 1 o'clock, regardless of your typical schedule. You're going to present what was worked on this week and get feedback. And then from 2 to 4 p.m. is just social hangout. Meet and chat with other students, relax. It's been a long, hard work week, and this is a great time to wind down. We do have a typical holiday schedule with New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, New Year's celebrated. The assessment process. Our entire program is focused on achieving your goals. Below are examples of the methods used. We have daily progress meeting. You meet daily with a teacher and other team members to go over the work you've done so far and to plan the work ahead for that day. During this meeting, goals are discussed and set. Barriers to meeting these goals are also addressed, with teachers giving advice on how to progress with your projects. You'll learn to present your work, communicate ideas, address challenges, and set goals. You'll also learn to listen to advice and receive critique from your teacher and peers. Follow verbal directions and ask for help. Weekly presentations. Each week, you will showcase your blogs and work in a room with two teachers. This is what we discussed on Fridays at 1 o'clock. You will learn to verbalize your progress during the week by highlighting your best work and the processes you use to create the work. We also encourage you to speak up and give feedback to other students during these presentations. These lessons build your self-confidence and communication skills and teach you how to present in a professional setting. The Friday Q&A. During the Friday afternoon student presentations, the director and teachers give an update on what things have happened during the week and announce events students can plan for. Students are free to ask questions of the staff. Your monthly survey. Every month, you will take a written survey before your monthly ISP updated meeting. The intent is to give you every opportunity to express your thoughts and needs. Topics range from teacher effectiveness, student satisfaction, student planning, and to be able to state any general problems you are having both inside and outside of Game Jam. Following your survey, there are monthly ISP meetings. Game Jam uses that survey and a person-centered planning process in our monthly ISP meeting. The meeting happens monthly with key Game Jam staff members and you privately. Progress toward your ISP goals will be discussed with you. During these meetings, an assessment of your current skills, past projects, current portfolio, and resume take place. You also play a very large part in these meetings by giving a self-assessment of your skills and anything that you feel you are strong in and those you wish to improve. Any necessary adjustments are decided upon collaboratively. Program participant requirements and data. Talk about the student attendance policy. After you miss 2 consecutive days without an excuse, a phone call will be made by our staff to follow up with you and your family. If you continue to be absent for 5 consecutive days, a second phone call will be made by our staff to your service coordinator. If you are going to be absent, we require and ask that you provide a reason. Game Jam is open from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. You are given the flexibility to choose when you will attend during those regular hours. Our sign-in, sign-out software makes attendance records available to you at all times, showing how many hours you have accrued over the month and how many you have left to go to meet your attendance goal. You are encouraged to work outside of our core teaching hours as well. You may take breaks anytime. Let's talk about our program policies. The Student Code of Conduct. I will respect the value and dignity of all individuals. I will do my best to create a climate of learning, trust, and respect. I will support an atmosphere of positive productivity. I will strive to speak to everyone in a friendly, positive, enthusiastic, and courteous way. I will strive for personal and professional growth. Hygiene policy. Personal cleanliness, including proper oral hygiene and absence of body odors, is a standard for all GameGen students. Medication. You are required to manage your own medication. GameGen staff cannot help any student with taking medication. Cash valuables. GameGen is not responsible for any cash resources, valuables, or personal property brought into the studio. Bringing personal items is done at your risk. GameGen is not responsible for loss or theft. Zero tolerance policy. GameGen is committed to providing an environment free of harassment, disrespect, or other unprofessional conduct. GameGen's anti-harassment policy applies to all persons involved in the operation of GameGen and prohibits harassment, disrespectful, or unprofessional conduct. This policy applies to any and all students of GameGen and all GameGen employees, teachers, as well as supervisors and managers. It also includes families, care providers, vendors, independent contractors, and any other person who impact GameGen. Prohibited harassment, disrespectful, or unprofessional conduct includes, but is not limited to, the following behavior. Verbal conduct such as epithets, derogatory jokes or comments, slurs or unwanted sexual advances, invitations, or comments. Visual displays such as a derogatory and or sexually oriented posters, photography, cartoons, drawings, or gestures. Physical conduct, including assault, unwanted touching, intentionally blocking normal movement, or interfering with work because of sex, race, or any other protected basis. Threats and demands to submit sexual requests as a condition of continued employment participation or to avoid some other loss, and offers of employment benefits in return for sexual favors. Retaliation for reporting or threatening to report harassment. And communication via electronic media of any type that includes any conduct that is prohibited by state and or federal law or by GameGen policy. Special incident reporting. GameGen and its entire staff are mandated reporters under the laws protecting dependent adults from abuse and neglect. These laws require that we file reports about incidences, such as accidents, bumps and bruises, reports or abuse of neglect, physical, sexual, etc., and or incidences where the student has harmed him or herself or others. GameGen believes that, for the protection of all, a quick and thorough investigation of any allegation or special situation by an appropriate, unbiased third party is required. GameGen will strive to ensure that each of you and your confidentiality rights are maintained through the process. Non-discrimination. GameGen is committed to providing an environment that is free from discrimination in opportunity and employment because of race, color, creed, gender, including gender identity and gender expression, religion, marital status, registered domestic partner status, age, national origin or of ancestry, physical or mental disability, medical condition, including cancer and genetic characteristics, genetic information, sexual orientation, or any other consideration made unlawful by federal, state, or local laws. GameGen will make reasonable accommodations wherever necessary for employees, applicants, and participants with disabilities, provided that the individual is otherwise qualified to safely participate in the program and or perform the duties and assignments connected with the program or job, and provided that any accommodations made do not require significant difficulty or expense. Accessibility statement. It is the policy of GameGen to encourage employment as well as architectural, environmental, communicative, and attitudinal access to the school by persons with disabilities. GameGen believes that its attitude and activities around access should serve as a model to vocational schools everywhere. GameGen promotes full accessibility for all consumers served. We are philosophically committed to and actively involved in the promotion of both community opportunities for persons with disabilities and the removal of barriers to access activities for individuals we serve. GameGen remains committed to recognizing the importance of program and physical accessibility in the provision of services to our consumers. GameGen will review on an annual basis the possibility of staff training in the area of nonverbal communication to ensure program accessibility. To this end, GameGen will Provide necessary accommodations and supports so that persons with disabilities have equal access to the employment opportunities within the agency and in the community. Not deny admissions to services to any consumer based on accessibility barriers unless it is determined by GameGen that the cost to provide access would undermine the services to other consumers. Support a referral to an accessible and receptive alternative service if admission is denied. GameGen maintains compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act and all other applicable laws. Internal grievance procedure. Preliminary step. You must first address your grievance with a staff member. This may be done verbally in an informal discussion. If your informal attempts to resolve the matter are not successful, you may implement the formal grievance process. Step 1. You must submit your grievance in writing to the program director, who will respond in writing within 56 hours following receipt of the grievance. All grievances and replies in Step 1 must be in writing. If the grievance is not settled in Step 1, then proceed to Step 2. Step 2. The next step is a face-to-face meeting with all parties involved, including the director, within 7 business days of the Step 1 meeting. If a resolution cannot be made, then the director must notify the GameGen CEO and proceed to Step 3. Step 3. GameGen CEO will schedule a phone call or face-to-face meeting with all parties involved within 10 business days of the initial meeting. If a resolution cannot be reached, proceed to Step 4. Step 4. The program director and the GameGen CEO will reach out to the service coordinator to review the grievance. And finally, our emergency preparedness plan. Each year, staff and students will train on emergency preparedness and complete drills for the following situations. Drills will be held quarterly and last for 1 to 2 hours. Each quarterly training will address a different emergency scenario. Drills will be documented and results will be reported to the CEO of GameGen to better improve preparedness. All staff and individuals and their support staff shall be shared on GameGen's emergency preparedness plan. Senior staff members will use the below text to inform and simulate the situations with our members to prepare them for an emergency. Online COVID positive. Staff directions. If one of your students has tested positive for COVID, contact your director. The director will work with you to determine the regional center of origin for the student. Each regional center has a different procedure, but at the core of all the processes, notifying that student service coordinator is number 1. Follow the other procedures. Earthquake plan. Staff directions. Direct all consumers and staff to drop it under desk and hold on. Once the shaking stops, staff should direct students outside to a pre-designated meetup area. Once in that area, staff should do a roll call to ensure that all staff and students are accounted for. Call 911 if necessary. If the structure of the building is damaged, staff should remain until all consumers have left or been picked up. Call GameGen CEO if necessary. Employees must keep in mind that aftershocks may strike at any time, exacerbating hazards created by earlier shaking and requiring that everyone again drop, cover, and hold on. Fire plan. Staff directions. Direct staff and consumers to crawl low under any smoke to your exit. Heavy smoke and poisonous gases collect first along the ceiling. Before opening a door, feel the doorknob and door. If either is hot or if there is smoke coming around the door, leave the door closed and use your second way out. If you open a door, open it slowly. Be ready to shut it quickly if heavy smoke or fire is present. If you can't get to someone needing assistance, leave the office and call 911 or the fire department. Tell the emergency operator where the person is located. If you can't get out, close the door and cover vents and cracks around doors with cloth or tape to keep smoke out. Call 911 or your fire department. Say where you are and signal for help at the window with a light-colored cloth or flashlight. If your clothes catch fire, stop, drop, and roll. Stop immediately, drop to the ground, and cover your face with your hands. Roll over and over or back and forth until the fire is out. If you or someone else cannot stop, drop, and roll, smother the flames with a blanket or towel. Use cool water to treat the burn immediately for 3 to 5 minutes. Cover with a clean, dry cloth. Get medical help right away by calling 911 or the fire department. Once out of the building, head to the pre-designated meeting area. Once in that area, staff should do a roll call to ensure that all staff and students are accounted for. Call 911. Call GameGen CEO to report incident. Staff should remain until all consumers have left or been picked up. Active shooter plan. Staff directions. During. Direct all and staff to consumers to run and escape if possible. Get away from the shooter or shooters is the top priority. Leave your belongings behind and get away. Help others escape if possible, but evacuate regardless of whether others agree to follow. Warn and prevent individuals from entering an area where the active shooter may be. Call 911 when you are safe and describe shooter, location, and weapons. Hide if escape is not possible. Get out of the shooter's view and stay very quiet. Silence all electronic devices and make sure they won't vibrate. Lock and block doors, close blinds, and turn off lights. Don't hide in groups. Spread out along walls or hide separately to make it more difficult for the shooter. Try to communicate with the police silently. Use text messages or social media to tag your location or put a sign in a window. Stay in place until law enforcement gives you all the clear. Your hiding place should be out of the shooter's view and provide protection if shots are fired in your direction. Fight as an absolute last resort. Commit to your actions and act as aggressively as possible against the shooter. Recruit others to ambush the shooter with makeshift weapons like chairs, fire extinguishers, scissors, books, etc. Be prepared to cause severe or lethal injury to the shooter. Throw items and improvise weapons to distract and disarm the shooter. After. Keep hands visible and empty. Know that law enforcement's first task is to end the incident, and they may have to pass injured along the way. Officers may be armed with rifles, shotguns, and/or handguns and may use pepper spray or tear gas to control the situation. Officers will shout commands and may push individuals to the ground for their own safety. Follow law enforcement instructions and evacuate in the direction they come from unless otherwise instructed. Take care of yourself first, and then you may be able to help the wounded before first responders arrive. If the injured are in immediate danger, help them get to safety. While you wait for first responders to arrive, provide first aid. Apply direct pressure to wounded areas and use tourniquets if you have been trained to do so. Turn wounded people onto their sides if they are unconscious and keep them warm. Consider seeking professional help for you and your family to cope with the long-term effects of the trauma. Emergency kits. Each kit contains emergency contact information for each client and staff member with a face sheet and physical description of client or staff members. All documents will be included in a waterproof container. Kits will also include 3 days' supply of food and water for each staff and consumer enrolled. Also included are standard disaster kit items such as first aid kit, battery-powered operator, flashlight, extra batteries, whistle to signal for help, dust mask to help filter contaminated air, duct tape, moist towelettes, garbage bags, plastic ties, and cell phone chargers. We look forward to having you as a student and can't wait to see what you do with your amazing skills and passion for game design.